It's a very emotional experience. You walk into the show, the music's pumping, the RVs look beautiful, they're stunning, and it makes you want to purchase.
It's overwhelming.
And we went in getting something completely different. We actually went in looking at fifth wheels.
Salesmen aren't your friends.
It's kind of that like psychology thing, right? Look at this low show price.
Of course our salesman had pit bulls. It was his favorite dog.
Hi everybody, the 2023 Florida RV Super Show is right around the corner. We are so excited. In this video, we're gonna give you some really good tips on how to get the best deal at this show and any show really.
And make sure you stay to the end of this video because we're going to give you important information about our meetups, both our times and locations. So we did a video talking about everything to expect at the 2023 Tampa/Florida Super Show. They're the same show, just in case you didn't know. We're gonna link that video above. This video is more focused on how to get the best deal, how to come out on top if you're going to the show and you're interested in buying a unit. Before we get into all the tips, we want to thank the official sponsor of this video. It's going to be Liquid Spring. Now, what is Liquid Spring? It is the best suspension upgrade for your motorhome. We've had it now, it's gonna be what, 3 years? I've not lost track. I think it's 3 years that we're almost...
Two, I think it's two.
Okay, 2 years. It's absolutely amazing. It changed the way our motorhome handles. Is no longer any white knuckling. It's absolutely essential if you have a gas-powered motorhome.
It will be offered as a factory option on the following motorhomes: Tiffin on the open road, Rev, Holiday Rambler, and Fleetwood on most of their gas models, including the Bounder, Southwind, Invicta, and Admiral, Nexus on the Triumph, Rebel, and Wraith, and Phoenix Cruiser RVs.
Also, if you can't get it as a factory option, you can always have them installed aftermarket like we did.
A lot of people do that.
Because it's not available as a factory option with Newmar. However, for 2023, Tiffin, you're able to get the four-corner system installed from the factory by Tiffin if you purchase from Colton RV. That is something new for 2023, so that's really cool. If you're interested in the system, this is what we have to say. Contact Wayne Wells from Liquid Spring. We'll put his information below. Let him know we sent you, and then set up a free demo test drive. They're going to be at the Tampa show for sure. Drive it, make your decision from there.
All right, the first tip, let's get right into it. First thing is really go into that show or any show knowing exactly what you want. Now, why do we tell you to do this? Because we didn't.
It's overwhelming.
And we went in getting something completely different. We actually went in looking at fifth wheels, believe it or not, when we bought Nelly, and then we left with the motorhome.
And of course, what MJ means, if you're looking to buy, right? If you're looking to look, then just go. But if you're serious about buying, you should have done your research already. You know what you want, and you're just kind of confirming it, and you're looking seriously to purchase. Another thing that's really important is that we strongly suggest that you are pre-approved, have your financing ready, or you have cash ready to go. The reason why we say this is that dealers actually make money off financing. So most of the time they're going to match your financing. So you may be able to save quite a bit of money, especially now with higher interest rates. If you can get pre-approval through a credit union, you may save yourself a lot of money just by having either cash or your financing ready to go.
So the next tip, and a lot of you know this, but the show price is not necessarily the lowest price. And in most cases, it's not. It's kind of that like psychology thing, right? Look at this low show price. But what we recommend is really, again, before the show, or even while you're there, pull up your phone, you can look up that RV that you're looking for, look at other dealers, what they're going for, and in many cases, you may find it lower somewhere else.
Right, and again, like MJ said, it's not the lowest price. Also, those show prices are always negotiable. Like,
of course.
They weren't last year because it was like this frenzy, but
but this year, I'm sure
always, they've always been negotiable, as well as the dealer prices outside the show. The prices are always negotiable. The RV is only worth what people are willing to pay for it. So just keep that in mind.
So at the shows, you will see certain dealers representing certain manufacturers. So for example, Lazy Days may have Newmar. That doesn't...
North Trail will have Newmar this year.
Oh, North Trail's this year. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, and they change around. So just because North Trail has Newmar doesn't mean you have to buy a Newmar through North Trail.
Correct. So say like General RV's there, you can buy a Newmar through General RV. You just can't buy it at the show through them, but that doesn't mean that you can't talk and say, oh, I'll get your number, and then after the show's done from a different local, you can certainly buy it.
Right, because some people like certain dealers better than others. Some dealers may give better prices than what certain dealers are giving at the show.
All right, the next tip is that what's most important is the out the door price. Now, why do we say this? It's very similar to when you buy a car. The first thing a salesman, if they have any kind of training, which they do, they're going to ask you, well, what do you want to pay a month? Well, listen, you can make things really expensive if you just extend out the finance terms, right? The length that it is financed. So what matters is out the door price. At the same time, the sale price, again, there's hidden fees, right? There's always fees that dealers have, these cryptic fees, the financing, trade-ins. Trade-ins are huge. They make a lot of money on the trade-in. So if you're able to sell privately, certainly we encourage you to do that. But the final out the door price, what you're going to pay for that unit, is what matters.
The next one is tough for a lot of people, as we also learned when we first purchased our first trailer. It's emotional. It's a very emotional experience. You walk into the show, the music's pumping, the RVs look beautiful, as we were just talking about before. You know, they detail these things
you don't get to see that before the show opens. They actually have like dozens of detailers that come in and detail and make these things look absolutely beautiful. Like you won't see them on a lot looking like this.
Right, so they're stunning and it makes you want to purchase. The biggest thing is that you want to make sure you don't get attached. Don't feel like you have to purchase right then. Emotional buying is probably the worst kind of buying you can do.
Not for the seller.
Victims. But that's what we did. And, you know, we regret it, but we had a fine experience. But you really want to make sure that you're smart. You go with your head, not your heart on this.
Yeah, and then the other thing, and again, this is a salesman's job. I have no fault to them. But like salesmen aren't your friends, right? Like you remember when we went, they buy you lunch.
Yes, we still love you, Matt. You're our friend.
They want, they have something in common. Every salesman has something in common. And that is tactical, that is strategic bonding, right? Like you do that, you make that connection. So we have pit bulls. Of course our salesman had pit bulls. It was his favorite dog. Just understand, like they're there to make a sale. That's their job. They're there to make money. You're there to get the best deal. So just keep that in mind. So the next tip is if you find a great deal, and how you know it's a great deal? Because you've done your research going up to this. You know what the prices are. You've been going to dealerships. If you find a great deal, be ready to move, right? Because it's a great deal and that unit may not be there. Especially now in that showtime, you may be getting a 22 leftover and it may be like one unit and they want to get rid of it. So be ready to move if you get a really good deal.
The next tip is, a lot of people go into RV shows looking specifically for new units, but as we've talked about many times, our next RV is going to be used. You can get a fabulous deal on a really well-kept used unit. So you can go in there. In most cases, used units are not going to be at the show, but you can speak to the dealers, see what they have in terms of used, and they might be able to help you there as well.
Another tip is that a couple of weeks after that show ends, you have a lot of people that are picking up their new RVs, but they're bringing their old ones in for trade. So that may be a really good time to get a quality used unit and save a whole bunch of money. So those are some really quick tips. We still have a couple of other things to talk about, but if you use those tips, and again, do your research, you're going to have a better chance of getting a really good deal on that RV that you've been looking for. Before we move on to our meetup times, whatever, we just want to talk about our new merch. I don't know if anybody's noticed. We've talked about it before, but we have new merchandise, new design here. MJ has another one.
I have the logo on here.
Yeah, and it's in our store. We'll link that below, but we have this design, that design in shirts, pants, cups, stickers. I don't even know. It's like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it is.
But if you are going to the show, if you don't already have merch, although I don't know if this is going to get there in time, but for the Hershey show, wherever we're doing the Maryland show, perfect way we could spot you in a crowd. If you have merch of it, beside that, it's really cool. They're high quality.
And if you don't wear the merch, still come up and say hi. We want to meet you.
So now
which leads us to the next
Let's talk about meetups. So MJ has it all written down. We're doing 2 meetups for now. I don't know if we're going to do a third, but definitely 2 meetups are confirmed. MJ's going to give you the time and the places.
So the first one is Thursday, January 19th from 1 to 2 p.m. at the Liquid Spring booth, which is A171 and A172.
And if you don't know where that is, you have the main convention hall where all the fancy motorhomes are. It's not there. It's the one that's like the smelly barn in the back. And it does smell like horse crap. But that's where most most of the vendors are. That's where they're going to be.
Yeah, and I think they give maps so you can see exactly where the booths are. And then the second one will be the next day, Friday, January 20th, also from 1 to 2 p.m. at the Battleborn Batteries booth. That's going to be A68 and A69.
Again, in the smelly barn section.
It's not us that smells.
So in the comments below, let us know, are you looking to buy an RV either at the Tampa show, Maryland show, Hershey show, any RV show? Put in the comments below. Also let us know, are you going to be at the Tampa show? Because we look forward to seeing everybody. We can't wait to go out there, even though the weather's been a little mild right now, but we want the sunshine and the vitamin D. And then to the left of us, we're going to put our RV Tours playlist as well as our RV Newbies playlist if you're interested in any of that information. And for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.